Today I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm playing the popular button-shy microgame Food Chain Island with every expansion. That's right, every expansion, everywhere, all at once. This manta ray is from the Friendly Waters expansion, which adds 3 new sea creatures that you shuffle in with the 2 from the base game, and then you draw 2 at random. The Plesiosaurus is from the Lost Beasts expansion, along with 4 animals that are on the board. For example, this dodo and the velociraptor and those other 2. These creatures have special eating requirements rather than a special ability. This buzzard is from the Tough Skies expansion, which adds flying creatures. You randomly draw 1 during setup, and they provide a negative special ability that you must resolve at some point during the game. Lost Beasts also includes a flying creature that you can add to the flying deck. And last but not least, the Legendary Creatures expansion adds these 4 face-down creatures. When a feeding occurs orthogonally adjacent to them, they flip face up, and only then can they eat and be eaten. This expansion also adds 1 legendary sea and 1 legendary air creature, but I just didn't draw them in this game. By the way, this setup of the map is one that's suggested in the Legendary Creatures rulebook. There are other crazier shapes, but since this is my first time, I thought I'd keep it nice and simple. In Food Chain Island, we're trying to finish the game with as few piles as possible. On each turn, we're going to pick a predator creature and have it eat a prey creature by placing its card on top. Usually the prey must be orthogonally adjacent to the predator, so not diagonal, and have a lower number than the predator, by at least 1, but not more than 3. So for example, this fox can eat any prey numbered 8, 7, or 6. This dodo is a 7, and it's orthogonally adjacent, so the fox can eat the dodo. Note the dodo's special eating requirement. It can eat anything below a 7 as long as it's even. This dodo is kind of fickle, so it won't be able to eat the rat, even though it normally would because it's odd. But let's just go ahead and have this fox eat the dodo. I guess it's going to be extinct once again. After a predator eats, you must activate its special ability, whether you want to or not. For the fox, it says, next turn, the predator must move diagonally to eat. Often these abilities put restrictions on the next round. And let's not forget, an eating occurred orthogonally adjacent to a legendary creature, so that means we flip it face up. All right, we have a mandrake. This creature actually has a when eaten ability. So when this mandrake is eaten, the predator skips its ability. Actually, I forgot something. Before we even started, I actually wanted to activate our flying creature, this buzzard. It says the next 3 predators must have odd numbers. So that's how these air creatures work. You have to activate them at some point, and they're going to put, some sort of challenging restriction on future rounds. So I thought, let's get this out of the way right away when we have, maximum number of predators out here. So we did that first, and then the fox moved over here and ate. So that will be 1 of the 3 that we need for this buzzard. For the second one, I want to activate the fox again. Remember, we have to eat diagonally, so this fox is going to come over here and eat this bat. And when you have a stack like this, you take all the cards in the stack. That satisfies the buzzard for the second time, and we know what happens now. Again, the next predator is going to have to eat diagonally. We're not going to be able to use the fox again. I was going to have the fox go eat that raccoon, but since we have to eat diagonally, we'll have to do something else. Now, the tiger could eat the fox. That's diagonal. This lynx could also eat the raccoon. That would be diagonal. I think instead, I'm going to have this mouse eat the ant. The mouse can eat a 2, 1, or a 0. And the special ability says to move an animal 1 to 2 spaces. And once again, when you move, it has to be orthogonal, but you can change directions. And you have to imagine this grid as sort of spreading out to infinity. So, things can move off of the original grid. You don't have to stay within that original shape. But I'm a little concerned with this rat because it's kind of off out here on its own. I want to move it 1, 2 in here. And there's another reason I want to do that, and that's so that it's within range of this snake. This plant's in the way, but if you look at the lynx special ability, whenever we eat with the lynx, which is what I plan to do, I plan to have the fox eat the raccoon and then the lynx eat the fox. And when that happens, one of these animals is going to have to leap over another one in order to eat. And so that will be perfect for the snake to leap over the plant, which I assume is considered an animal in this case, and eat the rat. So that's the plan that I have set up so far. I don't have much beyond that, but that's a pretty good starting plan. And since the mouse is odd, bam, we've completed the buzzard's restrictions, so we can put that face down. Now, if you want to make the game harder, you can actually add more air creatures and, have to do them all by the end of the game. Similarly, you can add more sea creatures to make the game easier, or have less sea creatures to make it harder. Oh, I almost forgot. We get to flip that legendary creature. Ooh, the death worm. Ooh, that's a hard one. When the death worm is eaten, on the next turn, only predators that aren't part of a stack can eat. So that would, rule out the mouse and the fox in this case, because they have already eaten, so now they're part of stacks. Let me see, can these legendary creatures eat themselves, or can they only be eaten? Okay, so it still can eat, but it just has no special abilities when it eats, it's only when it's eaten. So that death worm could take out that mouse. And then it could take out that spider. That's not terrible. The problem is, what's going to take it out? The snake. The snake can take it out. Okay. Okay, that's our plan. Let's not worry about that for right now, though. Let's come over here first. I want this fox to eat the raccoon. That lets us flip the legendary creature. This is a bunyip. When it's eaten, next turn, the predator's value must be odd numbered. Now, you might notice with these expansion cards, some of these have the same number, right? So the bunyip has the same number as the tiger. The same numbered animals cannot eat each other, so just keep that in mind. But this polar bear could certainly eat the bunyip. Ooh, and so could this gator. So right now, the fox's ability is that it has to be diagonally eaten. I was thinking just have this lynx come up and eat the fox, but now I'm second guessing that, because we could have the gator come up there and eat the bunyip. The gator has an interesting special ability there. Instead of having the predator move to the prey, you move the prey underneath the predator. Ooh, that's a little annoying. This mandrake is slightly annoying. Also, with its 0, it's far away from everything that can eat it. This lizard can't eat it. So we have to go diagonal. The gator is going to eat this bunyip. So now we need an odd predator, and the prey is going to slide underneath the predator. And so we'll do that right here. Now this is just the next turn the polar bear can't eat. So it's full. The problem is we need some movement here. So I'm going to have this mouse eat the spider. Move an animal 1 to 2 spaces. Let's move this lynx here. Then let's have the lynx eat the fox. This says that next turn, a predator must jump over another animal in order to eat something 2 spaces away in a straight line. So the snake is going to leap over this plant and eat the rat. That's going to let us swap the location of 2 cards. Let's swap the mandrake with the death worm. The snake can now eat the lizard. And we can do a swap. I think we want to swap this velociraptor and the lion, because this guy will only eat odd numbered. It'll eat any odd numbered. So, I mean, it could eat the mouse, I guess. Now it says eats only if unstacked. I'm assuming that means if it's unstacked, or does that mean it only eats prey that's unstacked? No, I think it means only if it's unstacked, so it's only going to eat once. If we swap these, then it could eat the velociraptor. Then this lion could eat the wolf. But then those are kind of out here in no man's land. But at least we'd get to flip over this last legendary. I am going to swap these. So I do have the manta ray. It prevents the predator's ability from going off, and so I think we'd have to use that if we use the lion to eat this. I tell you what, I am going to do this so that we can flip that over. Okay, a jackalope. Next turn, the predator cannot eat prey adjacent to the jackalope. All right, that's not a problem. Technically, in order to win, we need to have 3 or fewer piles at the end of the game. That is not going to happen. I've made some terrible decisions here. These 3s and 0s are just like not going to work. I don't know. Everything's messed up here. Yeah, there's ways of making a few things happen, but it's not going to be nearly enough. So I might just go for the low-hanging fruit. We have this card that would let us move one, like move an animal one space and then eat. I figured out how I can take out this entire bottom row, but then that's about it at that point. My first instinct is to have the snake eat this death worm. And then I'd get 2 swaps, but next turn only a predator that is unstacked would be able to eat. But what I could do is I could get the snake to switch with the lion. So now the snake is here. Then the jackalope could eat the snake. Then the wolf could eat the jackalope. The wolf would need to move one space. We have too many things. I need more diagonal eating ability, or even just movement. So let's just have the snake eat the death worm, swap positions with the lion. Then the jackalope, which is not stacked, can eat the snake. It doesn't have a special ability, only when it's eaten. Yeah, I think the wolf needs to eat and then move here. Yeah, it's a shame this has to move, because I want it right here. Because then I could do the tiger, and then this could go 1, 2, bam. This 2 movement is is not helpful. But if I have it here, I could use this. It would move 1 and eat. If I move the tiger here, then this can't move 2 and eat, because it just needs to move 1. Everything only needs to move 1 space. So I think we'll use this so that the animal can move 1 space and then eat. And this special ability, we're going to have to use the manta ray, because this says next turn the predator must eat prey that is exactly 1 less. And that's impossible on this board. So we're going to use the manta ray to ignore that. Then we have the tiger, and we can't do that either. So, yeah. So we're done here. Because we can almost do it with the polar bear. It only wants to move 1, not 2. Yeah, so that's it. We had a big failure here. 8 when we needed 3. Not good. This whole situation here was a nightmare. Definitely much more difficult with all of these expansions in play, but a ton of fun. So there you go. That was Food Chain Island. I'd like to thank all the financial supporters of Totally Tabled, including the Totally Radical Hextra, John Kohler, Scott Myers, Kevin Qualls, and Jay Satterwhite, as well as the Totally Bodacious Melinda Humphreys. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can join on YouTube or my Patreon at www.patreon.com/totallytabled. You'll gain access to my new exclusive podcast, Table Talk, as well as unboxing videos and whatever extra stuff I come up with. As always, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.